Hey, what is up YouTube? thyAshes here, bringing you another video. Today we're going to do a quick review on the 2K tournament yesterday for those of you who didn't get to see it, as well as a little bit of a almost like power ranking for those of you who aren't following the pro scene in Gears of War or who just want to know my opinions on where the teams currently stand. I'm going to go give my opinions, solely my opinions, based off what I've seen in scrims, in PCL matches, in the 2K yesterday, so on and so forth. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the 2K yesterday. I have the bracket up on the screen. For those of you who don't know, we played Ghost Gaming in the finals and we beat them 2-1. Ghost Gaming had a pretty good path. They played, I don't think anyone too notable. Nunez's team right there, but I don't know really the people who he's teaming with. They did play this team with Extinguish, Clouts, Crash, Rezik, Jerpy. That's a pretty good team. They beat them. And then Red Reserve also being a pretty good team, one of the top teams. So the top, let's see, that's top 16 teams or top 8 teams. Let's do top 8 teams are Red Reserve, Ghost Gaming. This is Domes' team. Yes. No. This is the pickup team that upset United the round before. Fire and Ice. This is Domes' team. They upset, or I don't know if it was an upset, but they had a really great match against Synergy. If you guys didn't get to see that one. Echo Fox, they were using Team Zoros, and Aspire Gaming, which is kind of like an up-and-coming team. Hezi, Mortifies, Regulate, Exclusive, and Razil. So, you know, some names that people know, but they're showing up when it matters in these 2K tournaments, so it's pretty interesting to see. All right, so looking at this bracket, a lot of what you would expect to see happen, a lot of the teams that you would expect to see placing where they did. We beat Domes' team pretty convincingly. Echo Fox played against Aspire. I'm pretty sure they beat them pretty convincingly as well. We had a pretty good match against Echo Fox. We played really well. We 2-0'd them. But the real matches that kind of got attention were this matchup between Mexico City Goonies, MCG, Domes, Godfections, Flamsy, Musics, and Frag Out versus Heza, Osby, Firearm, Strangulate, and Vital Sam. Two pretty good teams, definitely top 12 teams, and it was an intense matchup. It was very back and forth, so it was a great series to watch. But Domes' team took the win in that one, obviously. Fire and Ice, who'd I say they beat? Oh yeah, the pickup team. The pickup team upsetting E United. Yeah, we can't let that one go under the radar. That was huge. I didn't get to watch the whole thing. I tuned in. Apparently E United was down on Reclaimed like 5-1 or something like that, and I think it was a best of 1. I don't think they actually played a best of 3. But this is a pickup team with Situate, Pell, Images, Drazy, and Dolos. They were a last-minute pickup team as far as I'm aware, as far as what I've seen on Twitter. And then, you know, everybody knows E United, and it just didn't look good. E United did manage to bring it back, but I think they lost 7-5 or 7-6. So, I mean, I think it was 7-6, and that's pretty crazy. So that's a huge upset. That puts them in top 16, not even top 8. Crazy. Otherwise, not a whole lot of other crazy matches. Fire and Ice versus Ghost. This was the semi-final. So after we finished playing Echo Fox, we tuned over to watch Fire and Ice versus Ghost Gaming. And honestly, I would have, looking at the bracket, I would have said this is going to be a pretty good clean sweep for Ghost Gaming. And Fire and Ice really, like, they took it to him, and honestly, Fire and Ice had the opportunity. They had every chance to win tiebreaker map Harbor. It just looked like there was some bad positioning and bad calls. There was also, I think it was Sleepy Time and Speedy up at the top of the map on second half, where E-Hill is, clutched up and got like a double kill or a triple kill or something in a bad scenario, and really saved that round, really saved a 3-cap. And then there were some other minor like shot calling things that you could see. You know, the rotations were kind of weird. The first half of the map was pretty much one-sided for Ghost, but really intense series. Really interesting to see Fire and Ice take Ghost Gaming and push them to their limits like that. And then we came in and we played Ghost Gaming. We beat them pretty well in the first map, 7-4. Lost second map, Lift, 7-2, which was a pretty they played it really well. And then I think we won Tiebreaker Foundation 7-3 or 7-4. So good series. Felt good to be back on top or continue to be on top, I guess, with Shock on our roster. So we're going to talk a little bit about, let me pull up my pen tool. We're going to talk a little bit about where I kind of consider the teams right now and the power rankings that I'm going to give them based on what I've seen. So, all right, that's a 1. So first, I'm going to put us in first. OpTic, got to do it correctly, right? We showed that even with Shock, we're still at the top, and by winning that 2K, scrims have been a little bit differently, but teams don't always play the same way in scrims as they do in tournaments. So in my opinion, I think we're still at the top of the game right now, and I think we have a lot of work to do before Mexico. But right now, just based on what I've seen, I think, and I'm biased. Clearly, I'm biased, but it's hard to argue. So you know, so there's that. Number 2, I'm gonna give it to Ghost, and I promise you, I'm not just going off the placements that are the 2K, but I sincerely think that right now I've seen Echo Fox in a little bit of a funk. So to me, I'm putting Ghost up to rank number 2. They played well in the 2K tournament and they did what they had to do. So I'm going to give it to him in number 2. Number 3, I'm going to give it to Echo Fox. I think that, like I said, they've been in a funk, but that doesn't take away from the fact that they are a top team. I think they just have to kind of figure out the right way to utilize all their different parts that they've assembled for that roster. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with in the weeks leading up to Mexico and the other 2K tournaments. But for right now, I think those are your top 3. When we go to 4th, before I would have said E United. Right now, I'm kind of torn between E United and Red Reserve. And the reason for that is Red Reserve is a team that if they are on point, they could easily take games off Ghost or Echo Fox. Hell, they've taken games off us in scrims before when they're on point and when they're playing well. If they're not, it's really hard to place them. They would be the bottom of the top 8, and I like Red Reserve as a team. I like the people on that team. This is just going by what I've seen, and I know that team on LAN is going to be a lot stronger. So that'll be definitely interesting because all of those players on that team, you've got Hudson's, Eternity, Drix, Keem, and I'm so sorry, I'm forgetting who the 5th person is right now. This is awful. Whoever the 5th person is for Red. Why can I? Okay, you know what? We're just gonna check real quick on our other monitor. Red Reserve, Drix, Hudson's, Keem. Who am I missing? Crushmo. How could I forget Crush? Crushmo. Okay, so Crushmo, Eternity, Hudson's, Drix, Keem. Those are your 5 players on Red Reserve. I won't forget that again. I'm so sorry, Crush. I'm gonna give it to them, honestly. I think Red Reserve. I'm gonna get Red Res. I think Red Reserve is just, if they can find that cohesive power that they have when they're on point and make that the norm for them, they're a top 3, maybe top 2 team because they play really smart, really calculated aggressiveness, and it works. But the problem is they're not consistent with that. I've tuned into their streams before. They have a lot of things to clean up, so it'll be interesting if they can do that. 5, E United had a terrible showing in this 2K, but I'm still going to give them number 5 spot simply because I think their problem was they underestimated their opponent, and their opponent caught them off guard. It's also Reclaimed. Reclaimed is one of those maps. It could go any way, so who knows. Number 6, I'm gonna give it to Fire and Ice. I think Fire and Ice, the way I normally wouldn't put Fire and Ice even up this high, but the way they played in that 2K tournament, to me, in like my mental power rankings, bumped them up a few notches. So I definitely have Fire and Ice being in there, and if they continue to grow and perform the way they did yesterday, it'll be interesting to see where they show up. And I'm only going to do power rankings for the top 7 teams, or top 8 teams, sorry. 7th, I'm going to give it to Domes' team. Domes' team played really well. They had a lot of energy. They're still a brand new roster, so there's a lot that could go on in the downtime. And I don't know what their team name is, but they went by Mexico City Goons, so I'm just going to put MCG. And then 8th, I'm going to give it to, I believe, Synergy. I'm just going to scroll through this bracket again really quick. There's Aspire and Synergy. I haven't seen a matchup, and we haven't really scrimmed those two teams. Another team that you don't see up here is Trifecta, which they lost to Echo Fox pretty early. So this is another team that I would have expected to see them in the top 8. And honestly, I think that the fact that they played Echo Fox as early as they did ruined that top 8 run. So I'm going to give it to, I think I'm going to give it to Trifecta, because I think if Trifecta hadn't played Echo Fox, they could have beaten the other teams that did make it, like Domes' team, so on and so forth. So I'm going to give it to Trifecta right here. Trifecta is a powerhouse team. It's got a lot of experienced pro players. So that's my top 8. That's my power rankings right now. My plan is to keep doing this video and kind of breaking down the results and the highlight matches of 2K tournaments as we continue to see them before Mexico, and then obviously do my predictions for Mexico. But right now, this is kind of my power rankings for North America, Gears of War, pro teams, I guess. OpTic, Ghost, Echo Fox, Red Reserve, E-United, FNI, MCG, Trifecta. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Who are your top 8 teams going into next week's 2K? I'm interested to hear your opinions. Let me know. So definitely do that. Make sure to hit the like button. I appreciate the support. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you turn alerts on so that there's a little bell down there. Just click that. It'll let you know every time I upload a new video, which is just about daily. So yeah, guys, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video.
Go.